Hi, how's it going? Here's my video for December 22nd, 9:48 Sunday. Um, I've decided that I'm gonna try to get a job as a preschool teacher because oops, sorry, I almost had a bite of my apple. That would have been gross. I'll finish my apple when I'm done with the video. Yeah, I realized that because that's my career is education, and that I looked at the Indeed. I applied to 52 jobs and nobody hires me except for the education. I'm like, and then I finally realized, I'm like, duh, it's because that's what my that's what my industry is. I need to stick to my wheelhouse. That's what people do. Why would I get some job that I'm like overqualified for? People don't want to hire you for that because then you just leave. So it's just a matter of if I can stay afloat long enough to get a teaching job. But I've noticed they've offered these teaching jobs. What I'm going to do is just send a dang letter out to all the preschools in town, just every week and be like, yo, come on now. And then it'll line up, I could probably go another month or so, or two, maybe even. Because I stopped spending money, but now all my money is going to interest. But I'm really not spending money. I hang out with my mom and she feeds me. But so, and also, let's see what else is new. So I uploaded my video of the AD yesterday. I'm like groggy for some reason, man. I think I get my results. I'm gonna test what my blood test results came back. It was supposed to take 24 to 48 hours. So they'll come in today, and I'll see if there's anything wrong with me. If there's something wrong, then I could do the things you need to do when you have that wrong with you, like extra rest or a different nutrient or something. I don't know, or maybe an antibiotic or something. But we got 2 big vials taken out day before yesterday, and but it could have been for the stretching because yesterday I uploaded the video of the AD and it was my first AD test. My third test, so I did, it was 20th century. So I did 80, then BC, then 20th century. I think I got 150 points on 80, 130 points on BC, and I got 200 points on 20th century. So now the next one up, and I looked at my Fortnite test page, and it's called Biweekly on my website, but Fortnite's better. I'll change it. But there's also a 21st century. So there's 2000 to like now, and I could do that. There's future, and that'll be interesting. But as far as like the 4 main ones, it's 80 BC, 20th century, and ancient history, which is all of ancient history. That's how I had it set up. So it was 236 of these, and I decided that I'm totally addicted now. It finally it hooked in. Every 2 weeks I'm finally gonna take my 2-week test, my bi-weekly test, and once I have those up like regularly for a certain period of time, like I've done a certain number of them, like maybe 3 each, and there's 4 of them. So if I've done 12, so 6 months. If I've been doing it for 6 months, I think that's a good round number. And I can illustrate like my growth curve, my learning curve from when I start. That's going to be the leg that I used to stand on to actually ask for money from foundations and rich people. Otherwise, and I also have to be filming the physical feats, like my dumbbell exercise. Otherwise, I'm just not walking the talk, and I don't even feel right about asking for money. So, um, um, so, What was I saying? Yeah, so yesterday, oh my god. I, so yesterday I got up kind of late. I was at like 9, because I think I was busy with something until late. It takes me a while to get to sleep. It was my mom's birthday, so I spent the morning cleaning my house, which, I'd only clean my house like once every 2 or 3 weeks. So it gets totally like messed up. And then I clean it, and then I leave it alone. It looks great, and then so I cleaned a lot of it, and then she came over. We were gonna do a drive in the mountains. The problem was, and I didn't really, I forgot to remind her, but when she picked me up, she only had 30% in her car. Like, she doesn't understand the concept of making sure the car is charged. It happened the last time we went in the mountains too. We had to charge it over in Lyons for like an hour, but so we were going to drive up to Gold Hill, because she gets 20,000 miles for her car. 20,000, like, because she leased it, and she's way behind, so it's like all these free miles. She even had a friend in Gold Hill we were going to visit and drive around, but like it was losing charge. It had like 18%, and I was like, man, I don't want to deal with the stress of not knowing if this car is gonna run out of juice. I mean, it could recharge on the way down, but I just didn't want to deal with it because we still had a lot more climbing to do, and God, it was going to be like way down, and maybe it would. So it was like, we decided to turn around, and I just told her, look, if we ever go in the mountains, just make sure the car's charged. So, and it's easy for her to charge her car. She can park it in the garage and just plug it up. So, then we went out to eat at Chez Tui, Chinese restaurant, fish and eggplant, and then she dropped me off here. I think I was here studying my timeline because I have to look at my ancient history timeline to prepare for my ancient history test, because I'm going to take that on the 1st of January, because the one that I uploaded yesterday was officially the halfway through December one. I'm supposed to take it on the 15th and then the 1st of every month. That's why it's called the fortnight test. And the hardest one out of all of them, the most difficult one to do well, I think, is going to be the ancient history, and it's also the one that I've done the least studying on, so I don't get humiliated. Damn, so I don't get embarrassed on that test. I'm going to, from now until the 1st, I'm going to spend as much of my time just looking at my timeline, my ancient history timeline, to prepare for it. That's why I designed the timeline, because I wanted something that could help me visually memorize history. And so I was looking at it, and I realized that I remembered that I did it up there. Hey, damn. Oh, I had a dream last night. I finally starting to remember my dang dreams, dude. It's pretty cool. Let me tell my dream real quick, and then I'll get back to the timeline, because otherwise I'll forget the dream. Because dreams are fucking crazy. So, all I remember... So my brother is coming today for Christmas. So I must have been thinking about my brother. Because I was having a dream that I was in some, foreign place, maybe a hostel in another country or something. And we're sitting in, the big... meal area, and I'm there with my brother, and then this Russian woman just sits next to us, or the Russian woman walks up to us, and my brother just gets up and walks up and goes over to this other table and sits next to these other people. So then the Russian woman sits down, And it's like speaking in this thick Russian accent, like, hello, how was you? And I'm like, where are you from? And he's like, oh, I am from New York. And I'm like, well, what country are you from? And the person goes like, what do you mean? I am from New York. And I'm like, yeah. And when I think when I got up to like, I stood up to like, I don't know why I stood up, but it was when my brother left or something. I noticed the woman was like taller than me, and I was like, oh, okay, tall woman, no big deal. Like I follow a bunch of tall women on Instagram. But then like I'm talking to the woman, and then the face morphs into a man. I'm like talking to a man or something, or I think half of the face was a man and the half was a woman or something, and I'm like, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to talk to the person. That'll be interesting to have a dream where you're actually having a conversation with a person. But that's all I really got out of that person. So I was like, okay, so this person's creepy. So I left. I was going to leave the building. I don't know where I was going to go, but apparently there wasn't much gravity. I have a lot of flying dreams. Like half the dreams I have, I'm flying. So I like start floating and I've had actually this exact dream, like astronaut dream. And like I go out and I felt like people in there were watching me too. Like I was the only one who could do that. They were like, what the fuck is he doing? But I jump up and and maybe it wasn't that there was no gravity, but maybe time got slowed down or something. I'm some kind of superhero who can has super strength, and I can slow down time. So this is all really happening and instantaneously. But in my perception, I was just floating. But what I do is I just jumped up, and I didn't want to walk out of the building. I wanted to fly out of the building, but I couldn't fly, so I jumped up, I pushed my leg off a wall, and I shot forward, right? So I was just flying across. And then before I would, gravity would take me and I'd hit the ground, I would find another wall I was passing, and then I push back on the wall and I go back up again. And then I even pushed off the top part of the ceiling, from the door to the ceiling. And I was pushing. And yeah, I was flying like a missile outside. Only I felt like I was going just this fast, outside of the building, and then I was gonna go to wherever I was going. But that's when I woke up. So and I think I was having some dreams before that, but I don't remember. So anyways, that's my dream. So hopefully I can tell these every day. That's a good sign. That's how long it took me to get my dreams back. That's interesting. So I really did damage to my brain. Because I've been really foggy-headed lately, and maybe that's why. Because my brain, and maybe that's why my body is I have chronic fatigue, because my body takes forever to get back too. Because if you sit down and you look at the printout of what I did every day for the last 15 years, since 2010. I was bike touring before that. That was the last time I was in any kind of physical shape. And then in 2010, all I was doing was sitting down, not exercising at all. At all. I was washing windows for a few years, so I was a little bit of exercise, but over the last 10 years, I've been sitting here mainly doing anything, but especially since the last 6 years, literally nothing. And so maybe that's how long it takes you to just get yourself so wrecked that it takes you forever to get the chronic fatigue to go away, and the brain fog. I don't know, but yeah, I never if you look at the paperwork of how little exercise I get just sitting around, that would have horrified me. There's no way in hell I ever thought I would have done that, but my body can feel it. My hip is sore, and so anyways, I was sitting there studying the timeline, and I realized, because a couple years ago, I had a month or a 2 month long push on my ancient timeline, on my website. And I could look back on my vlog and I could pinpoint when that was, but the bizarre way that my website works is like when I work on certain sections on my site, like 5 years go by until I work on it again. So like the last time I work on any given site, any given section on my site, like if I were to choose something randomly, the last time I worked on it was like 5 years ago, because that's how big my site is. And so it was something like 5 years ago that I remember I did a push on my ancient history timeline where I added a bunch of stuff, and I did a lot of progress. But the problem was I did a lot of copy paste from Wikipedia, and also I did a lot of copy paste where I copied it from Wikipedia, and then I would even paste it onto like the text, you know, of Dreamweaver and other just pure text programs, all the simplest ones I could find. And it still didn't like sterilize the text, because there's this bizarre thing that like HTML does that I don't. And if you're watching this and you know, like, tell me. Maybe I could ask ChatGPT, but I bet you it wouldn't know. Like when you look at the at the text of the page, like there's no code. It's just the text. You know, there's not even space between the words. You literally, all you see is the words, right? And I even pasted onto the text. I was trying to do that. But then when you go to the WYSIWYG part of the page, what you see is what you get, you know, the Dreamweaver actual. No, I think it's good on the Dreamweaver too. And it looks fine on Dreamweaver. But when you upload it to the internet, the words don't wrap around like when they should. They don't follow the size of the table that it's in. So it pushes my timeline way out, wider than the screen, like way wider, like, and for no reason, you know. And I was looking into it, like, why are you doing that? And I pinpointed it was the text. It was this text that didn't have any code. It was just raw text. But because it came from Wikipedia, it had some kind of invisible, it had like an invisible worm inside of it that caused it to wrap around. And I never even figured out what program I could paste it in. I remember I was scratching my head like, oh God, am I going to have to like manually retype all of this? Is that the only way to not make it wrap around? You know, because when you have like a table, text and type table, you choose how wide the table is, and then the text just fits inside, right? The text doesn't go, no, I'm not ready to return on a new line until I'm done with my whole sentence, and then I'll do it, you know? So anyways, and I never had the time. Like, all I did was copy paste from Wikipedia, and I never had time to fix that. I burnt out and I moved on. And I was like, I'll deal with it later, and I forgot. And so now all of my ancient pages are just way too wide, which bummed me out because it made it harder to study. I mean, I can still study, but it's not as good. It's ugly. So I don't know when I'll fix that. It might be a long time, but yeah, I'm gonna I was looking at my timeline, just trying to reacquaint myself with the timeline, like what all those little symbols mean and the dates mean, and obviously it has a bunch of boo-boos that I can't help but look at, but I have no choice. I'll have to learn all the timeline the way it is. You know, I don't have like an army of assistants to help me with my timeline. So, which is fine. I like the idea of building the whole thing myself, because I know that it has everything that it has, and it's correct, and there's nothing. There's no kind of nefarious like changing of history going on. You know what I mean? I don't have to. Not like that. Not like I wouldn't catch that. But yeah. So, but then I was like, I want to hang out with my mom some more because it was birthday. It was her birthday. And so I called her back. I'm like, hey, you want to watch a movie? She's like, yeah, let's watch some episodes of The Outlander. Because I was watching The Outlander with her years ago, and then they since had come up with like a couple more seasons or something, or another season that I didn't watch. So she invited me to go over there and watch it. So I brought my computer, because I was going to study my timeline as I was watching The Outlander. And, I actually only studied one because I was going to do a practice test. And I even got my random number thing out and it said 77. Okay, so that's, I think that was like, I can't remember what it meant. 970,000 years ago was like, 980,000 years ago was the 77th one out of 231. And I was looking at it and just looking at this one, trying to remember as I was watching Outlander, but then I realized my mom was showing me like an episode I had already seen, and then I started talking to her about the teaching, and because I never really looked at the qualifications I need to teach, and I realized, and I'm going to try to confirm, I'm going to write them now and call them, but I realized that because there's, I guess, different ways you can get sub-5 early childhood teaching license, because those are the people who are interested in, that's actually the job that I want. That's the job that's kind of aligned with my career. I would want to get a career job, and I'm in education, and to have experience teaching little kids would definitely help me with my website. I'll have more to say on my website about it, more ideas about how to get little kids interested in that kind of stuff. So, and it seems like they're interested in me. And I looked on Indeed, and I saw a lot of job offers and like urgent and stuff. Job offers for teaching at preschools. It's like a preschool and a daycare. And I'm like, right in town, and so I'm like, I could probably get a job. Like, even if this place isn't hiring anymore, like they hired somebody, I could just send out a letter to all the preschools in Boulder until I get hired, because I'll have the thing now. Because I found out what I needed, and apparently, and I'm going to try to confirm it on Monday, but apparently all I need is, because I have a college degree, and I can put my college degree to use. Yeah, like, why would I go and try to get a job where I don't have my college degree, Let's get the college degree job. All I have to do is take this class. It's like 16 hours, so you can get it done in a weekend. It's just you do 121 lessons, and each lesson is 8 minutes, and then that's your certificate. So it's all, I guess it's for free, all online. So I watch a video, and then I take the test, and it's like, what? You watch video and about education, and because like the first video is about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and I'm like, oh, so I would do that. I would do that for fun, So if that's true, like I do have the certification. All I have to do is watch these videos. So I'm going to write the school, and I'm going to be like, look, I think that's all I need. All should be ready if you can hang on for a week, And then I'm going to confirm with the government people, but yeah, so because I was getting kind of depressed. I was like, man, I'm getting rejected because I got rejected from all the old taking care of old people jobs. But I saw on the internet when I got up, I like scrolled through my phone a little bit, and I saw this news story like jobs that suck. And I was scrolling through, and they're talking to all these jobs that people hate that suck, and like taking care of old people was one of them. And I'm like, oh shit. Because you get abused by the old people, grumpy ass old people, and then you have to like help them with their toiletries too. And it's like, god damn it, it's way better to play with a little kid than to freaking do the toiletries of a 90-year-old. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and just trust that God has my back, and that I'll stay ahead on the bills until I get hired as a preschool teacher. And that's right in line, college degree, job, right in line with my career, and it's easy. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do it today, because today's Sunday. It's kind of like, this is the Lord's Day. And I'm super fired up to try to study history, ancient history. So I'm going to watch like a bunch of ancient history YouTube videos. Maybe listen to ancient history books that I might have on Audible. and just train my ass off as much as I can. So that's the other thing I'm doing, so that I can do okay on that test on the 1st. So I have like the idea that a perfect score on that test. It's kind of like if you were to speak really fast, like as fast as you could speak for a minute, answer all of them. In fact, maybe I could do it now. 60, 400. 400 divided by 60.
It's approximately 6.6666.
So if I can average like 6 to 7 correct answers per minute, per unit, then I can get a 400, because that's 6 times 400, 6 times 60, 6.666 times 60 is 400. That's like a perfect score. And so if I can get like in a 1 month period, right? So if I take the test, say on the 1st of January, 15th of January, 1st of February, 15th of February. So 1st of January to 15th of February. So in a month and a half, if I can score a 400 or above, then that gives me a 1600. So I can get a perfect score. So that's what the perfect score in the SAT is. It's like mimicked off the SAT. So if I can get a 1600, so a 400 on each of those, average 6.6. And of the good questions, get a 400 score, and then on top of that, I can like average a bike 33 miles an hour. Then that's the perfect score, physical and mental. So maybe I could do that. Maybe I'm still young enough to pull that off. And I'm also going to design one for people who aren't into bike riding, like weightlifting, and I even made one for martial arts. And I even have it for running, swimming, and skiing. Yeah. Yeah, I could see myself getting those. I could get those kind of grades, 400 on the 80 BC and 2000 and 1900s. It's amazing how like the grading process like really levels me up too, like when I watched the video, I was showing my mom a little bit, giving her a tour. Yeah, because that's what I did yesterday. After we watched, instead of actually watching any of the new Outlanders, I deciphered what you needed, because I still didn't even really look at it. It's really complicated. I deciphered it with her, and I decided with her what I needed to get that license. And then I also explained to her like my timeline again, and I showed her the timeline, and she and I showed her the video of me taking the test, and she said she actually realized it for the first time what was going on. She didn't even understand. So that was a big accomplishment, going over to her house. And then I came back here kind of late, and and then I did another new thing, which is really freaking cool, man. I was working on it until 12:30, and then I like had a little bit of a snack and was fucking around on the internet. So I didn't actually get to sleep until like 2 in the morning. But I bought this like really long strap on Amazon before I canceled my Amazon, because everything gets stolen. I live in the ghetto, so I only buy in stores now. I had Amazon because I didn't have a car. I have a car now, so I can drive around. I got this long strap because I was going to build stretching device in my room, because this is fucking brilliant. I'm going to do a YouTube video about this like pretty soon. Maybe I'll embed it in my like a tour of my apartment, and then I'll break it up into bits and like cool little sections of my apartment. But So I I sleep on the floor on a mattress. So I can take the mattress off the floor and I can put it behind my couch here. So then my room turns into a weightlifting room. I set that up, or not a weightlifting room, like a full-on workout room. I set that up when I had roommates. So I was going to work out in my room and let my roommates kind of live in the living room and live around. But then I can't get a roommate anymore. I like aged out. It's fucked up. So so you know, I have a bench in there and I can bench press. So my bed is on the floor, like jutted up against in between a bench press bench, and so I have the thing that holds the bench press. Maybe I should just show you. And it's very high at tallest, and with my bar, and okay, you see the bar, the bench, the bed, and so I wanted to get straps on that, hooked all over that, so I could stretch with the straps, because if you have insomnia, you know, which I have, which I get, you can, instead of just laying there twiddling your thumbs, you can just stretch, right? And like, it's like yin yoga. So it's stretch that's relaxing stretch. Like, it's not like isometric hold stretching. It's not like, it's not yoga. You just rest on it. You don't use any energy. You just relax into it, but you're stretching. And I set it up. It took me a while. That's why I was there. I don't know what time I came back from her house. I think I came back from her house at like, I think it was 10. It was like 9 or 10. So for like 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours, I got the straps, and I have a strap on the side where I can stretch my arms like this, but cross my arms and stretch my shoulders, because my shoulder is really sore. My left shoulder and left hip is actually sore, like it's been like constantly sore and tight. And yeah, like I'm feeling my age. Like I can't just stretch. Well, it's not just my age. It's my age slashed with like all those years of not doing anything. I can't just stretch for a couple days and like all of a sudden I'm limber and I'm not sore again, you know? It's like very slow going. And so I got these 2 straps that I can hold on to on the sides of the bars. So I cut the strap, I got my drill and I drilled holes in it, and then I got my zip ties and I zip tied it. So zip tied like 3 on one side and 3 on the other side. So I used 6 zip ties to get the strap, and it was the quickest way. At the beginning I was like, am I gonna like sew it? No, this way is way better. And zip ties last a good bit as long as you're inside and they're not, you know, getting direct sunlight. So I made those 2 little ones, and then I got these 2 longer ones that I can do my shoulders with. I hang them from the top, and I can do my shoulder up like this, and like, you know, hold my arms back. And then I made 2 really long ones, so I can lay on my back and put my ankles on it and my feet, and then my feet just naturally go way out, and it's like a big time stretch of my hips. So when I finally went to bed last night, I actually did it. I let my feet like dangle way out and like totally getting a hip stretch. As I'm there, like just relaxing, totally relaxing. And I'm like thinking to myself, this is fucking brilliant. Oh my God. And then you hold it for like a few minutes, like 10 minutes, right? Like as long as you need. Like time's, you don't got no, you know, time's not a problem if you're just sitting there waiting to go to sleep. And so then it got like, you know, it gets so sore, it's like a little bit too painful. It gets more and more painful, you know, and you're like, okay, maybe I should switch. So then I used the strap where I had my knees on the inside, and I was stretching the other end, and the straps were helping me lean into that until that hurt. And then I went on the outside and I did that back and forth, and like I didn't even care if I was going to have insomnia all night long at that point, you know, because now I'm stretching, because that's what I was doing for like 2 weeks. In like October, I realized I was so tight that really all I wanted to do was stretch. I didn't want to lift weights, run, ride. I couldn't run. I could barely ride. Like, I couldn't even believe how, like, out of coordination and how weak I was riding my bike at the tail end of last summer. Like, I could barely make it up these like basic hills, like Old Stage Road, the backside. I probably couldn't even go up the front side, like the south to north. Probably couldn't even done that. But north to south, I could barely get up that. And I'm like, damn, I need to stretch. So I was just stretching in my living room for like 2 weeks. I could have been stretching. I could have been working out for those 2 weeks or doing something else and stretching in my bed, like with insomnia. And so yeah, so I just, as I was building the straps, I was practicing with all the different positions. That's why it took so long, like 3 hours. I was practicing with all the different positions that I could, and then using the straps with each other, like putting the long straps together and then putting the shorter strap, weaving it through, and then making these other stretches. And dude, I learned all the stretches, like the ones that can get my shoulder up like this, the ones that stretch my shoulder out like that, the ones that do my shoulders like this, you know, my legs both ways. And yeah, I'm like, dang, dude, if I do this every night, I'm gonna be limber. Finally, I'm gonna be limber. Like I almost wish I was a sadhu in India so I could be limber. Like, I'm like, so, and then I passed out doing that. Like, I don't even remember it. So yeah, I could have been up maybe like an hour, but it didn't even matter. And then I fell asleep. I didn't even get around to doing the arm stretches because I fell asleep. And that was the night that I had the dream. So that is super duper exciting. I'm going to do a tour of it. Because, like, I can hook the straps over the hook that you put the barbell on. And then you can also hook the straps. And then, you know, the holes that the pins go through to adjust how high your bench is. I get the big zip tie and I stick it through, and then I can pull the strap through those holes. And so I can have the straps at all these different like positions, all these different lengths, depending on what hole I do. There's like 7 holes, different heights I can do them on, and both of the different straps. So I figured out a configuration where I can have the strap in there where I do my legs, and then have the other one where I do my arm, and then the third one where I do it my arms like this. So I have 3 different lengths of straps. And yeah, dude, I like, at the end of it, I was like, wow, this worked out perfectly. It was so cool. So, so yeah. So today I'm going to, well, my mom wanted me to go over there. When I'm done with this, I'll call her and see if she wants me. I actually called her because my brother's coming at noon, and I called her this morning and I was like, hey, do you want me to just prepare the house real quick before he comes over? And she said, yeah, do that. And so, I'll call her now and go down there and help her with her house, you know, cleaning and moving stuff around. She's 83 and she lives by herself in a townhouse, so multi-level. So, you know, she can always use help. And I'm trying to train her to like write a list and have stuff on the go for me to do for her, and it helps, you know, that way. It's kind of like assisted living, you know, only for free. And I don't mind because I live like a mile away, you know. So as the crow flies, I think it's like exactly 1 mile, actually. Like from my bedroom to her bedroom, it's like 1.00 miles. Yeah. But I'll go double check and I'll tell you tomorrow if it's really like that. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Go down there and then come back and just study my ass off on my unfinished, like extra wide, but whatever, timeline, and just and watch these videos and just try to memorize as much as I can, dude, until the first. And then tomorrow I'm gonna confirm about that. I'm gonna email them. Maybe she'll email me back about the certification, and then I'll take that test. I'll proceed to try to whip out that course next week sometime. Not overcook myself with it. Not try to do it all at once because I'm trying to stay in shape. And yeah, so I'll come back and look at the timeline. But then I'll go to the gym today because I didn't work out yesterday. I didn't do any exercise yesterday, which is fine. Because the day before yesterday, I went in there and I ran out of time. But I also didn't feel, because I didn't realize they were closed at 9, but I also didn't feel good. So I'm going to find out what's wrong with me, if there's something wrong with me. And if there's nothing wrong with me, it's just, I'm just going to chalk it up to just general unhealthiness, you know? Like, because I really did abuse my body with lack of exercise and bad diet. And putting those together for all those years and age, just, I can't bring it back right away. But, you know, if you have chronic fatigue problems, like you're obese and you just don't have the energy or whatever, like you feel like you pass out every time you go to the gym and you have no energy. The only thing, dude, that's going to get you fit again is by going to that gym. You have to keep going and just do what you can, you know? And then just cross your fingers. Oh, and you also have to eat well. If you don't eat well, it's not going to work either. So you have to do both of it. And yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So I'll do the tour of my site and the tour of that pretty soon. But not before I take my test on the 1st of January. And I get done with that certification. And yeah, once I get a job... it's going to be a really big load off of my shoulders because I'm like so critical that like, yeah, I don't have like my tax money set up. Like I need a job. That's why I freaked out last week and I'm like, I need a job anywhere. I need a job anywhere. But it's not really like that. Like they're not just going to hire you at the job, you know. So, unless there's something like available in your field at that moment with people who like you, so I'm just going to assume that my destiny is to be a teacher, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm happy I have a load off my shoulder. So anyways, that's enough. That's my vlog for today. Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll be talking about how I made a lot of progress studying ancient history, and I had a good day working out. Talk to you tomorrow.